श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशुमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गोरक्षर बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्यल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानुगौर्य गुरु वर्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शार गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नाम अक्षय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौरमंडल व्रजमंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जाय। जय श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय। जय श्री वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जाय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna, everybody. Alright, so I am sharing my screen and we will begin. Jnanatimirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Gurave gaurachandraya radhikaya itadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. Namastrikala Satyaya Ajanulambita Bujau Kanakavadato Sankirtanaika Pitaro Kamalaya Taksho Vishwambaro Dijavaro Yugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Namastrikala Satyaya Jagannatha Sutaya Cha Sabhrityaya Saputraya Sakalatraya Te Namaha. Jai 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 Vishwambara Dvija Raj Jai Vishwambara Priya Vaishnava Samaj Gaura Chandra Jai Dharma Setu Mahadhir Jai Sankirtana Moy Sundar Sharir Jai Nityanandir Bandhava Dhana Pran Jaya Jaya Gadadhar Advaitir Prema Dham Jai Shri Jagarananda Priya Atishay Jaya Vakreshwar Kashishwarer Hriday Jai Jai Shivasari Priya Varganath Jiva Pratikoro Prabhu Shubha Drishtipat Madhya-khaṇḍa Katha Jeno Amriter Khanda Je Katha Shunile Ghuche Antar Pashanda Madhya-khaṇḍa Katha Bhai Shuno Ekachite sankirtana aramba hoilo jeno mate, tavaivasmi, na jivami tvaya vina, iti vigyaya devi tvam nayamam charanantikam, bhaktya vihina aparada lakshai, क्षिप्ताष्टकामादितरङ्ग मध्ये कृपामयि त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दं भज श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. The glories of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata and Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur from Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita. Ore mura lokshuno Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Mahima Jate Jani Beshakal, Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kohe Ved Vyas, Chaitanya Lilar Vyas Vrindavana Das, Vrindavana Dasa Koilo Chaitanya Mangal, Jahara Shravane Nashe Sarvaya Mangal, Chaitanya Nitāir Jate Jani Mahima, जाते जाने कृष्ण भक्ति सिद्धांतेर सीमा भागवते जतो भक्ति सिद्धांतेर सार लिखियाछेन इहा जानी कोरिया उद्धार चैतन्य मंगल शुने जदि पाषंदी जवन शेहो महावैष्णव होय ततक्षण मनुष्य रचिते नारे ऐच्छे ग्रंथ धन्य वृंदावन दास मुखे वक्ता श्री चैतन्य Vrindavana dasa pode koti namaskar, aiche granta korite ho tarila sangsar, Narayani Chaitanyer uchishta bhajan, Tar garbe janmila shidasa Vrindavan, Tar ki arbhuta Chaitanya charita varnan, Jahara shavane shuddha koilo tribhuvan, Shahaje vichitra madhur chaitanya vihar, Vrindavana dasamukhe amrite dhar. By nature, all the activities of Śrī Caitanya-Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and sweet, and when they're described by Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur, they become like a shower of nectar. Jai Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai, Jai the Gaudiya Bhashya of Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata ki jai, Śrī Śacīnanda Gaur Hari ki jai, Śrī Nitāy Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, everybody. Dandavat pranams, Satya Mataji, Hari Bol, Champak Mataji, Kishore Krishna Prabhu, and Ganga Mataji, and whoever else that is watching on YouTube or Facebook. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Oh, and I see there's some more people joining. Hari Bol, everybody. So I am going to, what am I saying? Yeah, we have a lot to get through today. 7,400 words, which is a lot more than normal. But if we just start right away, we'll be able to finish before 8:30. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to do much of a recap. Well, I'll just read one paragraph from the last reading, and then the day actually tomorrow's my Gurudev's Vyas Puja, and the day after also we'll be reading about like glories of my Gurudev or Hari Katha for my Gurudev, anything like that, and then the day after that, we'll do a proper recap so that we can get the flow nicely. But now it's just going to be starting right away. The previous chapter was the Lord's chastisement of Devananda Pandit. First, it described Mahaprabhu's mood as Baladev, Mahaprabhu's chastisement of Devananda Pandit. That was most of the chapter. And then it ended with the non-difference of Śrīmad Bhagavatam, Tulsi, Ganga, and the devotees of the Lord. And this has been a running theme in the previous chapters. Chapter 19, the pastimes in Advaita's house, there was a whole long section of Mahaprabhu speaking against making vaiṣṇava-aparādha. The whole story of Devananda Pandit is That's like one of the main stories that we cite about this topic on vaiṣṇava-aparādha. And now we're in this chapter that we're reading today, chapter 22, delivering Shacī from offense, Śacīdevī from offense. We're going to see how even the topmost exalted, our topmost worshipful person, Shacī Mata, the mother of the universe, even she is like everybody. It doesn't matter how high you are, Shiva, anybody is not exempt from. So is the word exempt? Anyways, from making vaiṣṇava-aparādha. Like, it doesn't matter on what level you're on. So, okay, yeah, so let's jump in. All right. Chapter 22, delivering Śacīdevī from offense and descriptions of Nityananda's qualities. And I think that's probably like one of the most common reoccurring themes throughout all of Caitanya-bhāgavata is this topic of vaiṣṇava-aparādha. It's brought up over and over and over and over and over again. There's so many verses and so many chapters where he's strongly cautioning against vaiṣṇava-aparādha. And this is one of the main chapters also on this topic. There's a beautiful book by Srila Bhaktivinoda Puri Goswami, The Heart of Krishna, and he writes an article on each one of these pastimes from Caitanya-bhāgavata, and also maybe some from Chaitanya Charitamrita, but yeah, there's a whole chapter on this lila here also. Okay, so this chapter describes how Śrīman Mahāprabhu cautioned everyone by displaying the gravity of vaiṣṇava-aparādha, using his mother as an example. After chastising Devananda Pandit, Sri Gaurasundar taught everyone that even if one tries to worship Krishna after committing an offense against a Vaishnav, one cannot achieve love of Krishna because of the absence of the Vaishnav's mercy. By enacting the pastime of relieving his own mother from offense against a Vaishnav, Sri Gaurasundar displayed the severe gravity of Vaiṣṇava-aparādha. I didn't even think what Śacīdevī said was that bad. Anyways, we'll come to that. But this is how dangerous Vaiṣṇava-aparādha is. One day, Sri Gaurasundar sat on the throne of Vishnu in the house of Srivas and personally began to describe his own glories. Sri Srimad Nityānanda Prabhu and Sri Gadadhar Goswami, they constantly offered him service appropriate for the time, and the Lord awarded everyone their desired benediction. At that time, Srivas Pandit requested Gaurachandra to bestow love of God to Śacīdevī. In reply, Sri Gaurangadev said that since his mother had offended a Vaishnav, she was not eligible for Prem Bhakti. Hari Bol Shubhananda Prabhu. Oh, and Hari Bol Sudevi Didi. When the devotees heard that even the mother of Lord Gaurachandra, the Lord of all worlds, was not eligible to achieve Prema Bhakti, they became extremely morose and resolved to give up their bodies. Śrīman Mahāprabhu then describes the cause of Śacīdevi's offense and said that if someone offends a Vaishnav, no one other than that Vaishnav, not even the Supreme Lord himself, is able to nullify it. The Lord then cited the example of Durvasa's offense against Ambarish. When everyone there came to know that Śacīdevī committed an offense to Advaita Prabhu, they immediately went to Advaita Prabhu and requested him to forgive Śacīdevi's offense. On hearing their request, Sri Advaita Acharya felt embarrassed. After remembering of Vishnu, he became absorbed in narrating the glories of Śacīdevī. Taking advantage of the opportunity, Shachimata took the dust from Advaita's feet on her head and became overwhelmed in ecstasy. When Gaurahari saw this, he happily declared that his mother was now eligible for Prem Bhakti. Actually, let's read the summary next time. We'll read both summaries, full summaries of Devananda Pandit and this one when we read next time. So, Jaya Jaya Gora Chandra Kripar Sagar, Jaya Shachi Jagannatha Nandan Sundar. All glories to Sri Gaurachandra, the ocean of mercy. All glories to the beautiful son of Shachi and Jagannath. Gaudiya Bhashya by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. says Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayar Yajanti Hi Sumedasaha. In this age of Kali, people who are endowed with sufficient intelligence will worship the Lord, who is accompanied by his associates by performance of Sankirtan Yagya. According to the consideration of this verse, Sri Gaurasundar made the entire world glorious by distributing the name of Krishna. He had Srila Thakur Haridas preach the process of chanting the holy names and revealed that only through this process of worship can one attain Krishna Prem. I have it in the wrong format. Anyways, doesn't matter. Whatever. Haribol Anuradha Mataji and Vidya Lalasa Didi. Hare Krishna. Jai Jai Shachi Sutta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Krishna Nam Diya Prabhu Jagat Koilo Dhanya. All glories to the son of Shachi, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, who made the entire world glorious by bestowing the names of Krishna. Heno mate navadvipe Prabhu Vishwambhar Bihare Sanghati Nityānanda Gadadhar. In this way, Lord Vishwambar enjoyed his pastimes in Navadvip with Nityānanda and Gadadhar. Vakyadanda Devananda Panditere Kori Aila Apana Ghare Gauranga Shri Hari. After chastising Devananda Pandit, Lord Gauranga returned to his home. Devananda Pandit Chalilo Nija Vase Dukha Pailena Dvija Dushta Shanga Doshe. Devananda Pandit also returned to his house. He felt distress because of bad association. Gaudiya Bhashya. Devananda Pandit received Mahaprabhu's chastisement for the fault of associating with materialistic students, and therefore felt unhappy. Although ordinary people considered him a sober person, he did not receive any respect from Śrī Caitanya-dev. Since Śrī Mahaprabhu did not accept Devananda as a Bhagavat, he could not be counted as a recipient of the Lord's mercy. At this point, but we'll hear later on in the Madhya-khaṇḍa how by the mercy of Vakreshwar Pandit, he received Mahaprabhu's mercy. Devananda heno sadhu chaitanya thai sammukha hoite jogya nahilo tathai. A sadhu like Devananda was unable to stand face to face with Lord Chaitanya. Vaishnaver kripai shepai vishwambhar bhakti bina japa tapa akinchatkar. Vishwambar can be attained only by the mercy of the Vaishnavas. Without devotional service, one's chanting and austerities are meaningless. Good verse. Vaishnaver kripaishe pai vishwambar bhakti bina japa tapa akinchitkar. Gaudiya Bhashya. Chanting the Lord's names and performing austerities without being inclined to the Lord's service are simply useless labor. Without the mercy of the Supreme Lord's servants, an inclination for the Lord's service cannot be awakened. Vaishnaver thai jar hoy aparad Krishna kripa hoyle o tar prema badha. If one commits an offense against a Vaishnav, then even after attaining the mercy of Krishna, his attainment of love of God is checked. Doesn't even matter if you get the mercy of Krishna, you won't be able to get prem. Gaudiya Bhashya. By the influence of Nam Aparad. And remember, Nam Aparad, offenses to the holy name. What is the first Nam Aparad? Is vaiṣṇava-aparādha, is the first Nam Aparad. If you commit offense to a Vaishnav, if you blaspheme those who have dedicated their lives to the propagation of the holy name, then that's Nam Aparad. Sometimes we think Nam Aparad just means inattentive chanting. No, but it means committing offenses to Vaishnav. That's Nam Aparad. That's the first one. inattentive chanting is like one of the last ones, right? It is the last one. So, um, so by the influence of nama-aparādha, the offender of Vaishnava is unable to worship Krishna. Even though others perceive that such people are receiving the Lord's mercy by making a show of chanting the holy names, the Supreme Lord is never pleased with those who are averse to the devotees. That is why the 10 offenses to be avoided in chanting the holy names. That is why, of the 10 offenses to be avoided while chanting the holy names, blasphemy of the devotees is the first to be given up. Something I noticed with nama-aparādha, many of the nama-aparādhas, like most of them, are things that you do when you're not chanting. Right? They're like, it's, yeah. Nama-aparādha isn't just how much you're endeavoring, like while you have your hands in your bead bags, how much you're endeavoring to focus on the name and chant seriously. But it's how you honor Vaishnavas, not all those different things, all the nama-aparādhas. They're things that you do while you're not chanting. Ami nahi boli e veder vachan, shakshate o kohiyache Śacīdevī. These are not my words. This is a statement of the Vedas. The son of the son of Shachi has also personally declared this. Jai Shachir Garve Gora Chandra Avatar, vaiṣṇava-aparādha purva achilo tahar. Mother Shachi, in whose womb Gaurachandra appeared, had once committed an offense to a Vaishnav. Gaudiya Bhashya. Śacīdevī, the mother of Śrī Gaurasundar, committed an offense to Śrī Advaita Prabhu. She was not able to attain love of God until that offense was destroyed. And somebody, I forgot who asked this question in one of our previous readings, but wait, how does Shachi Mata not have prem? She's the Lord's mother. But I this is just the answer that I thought of, that in this, like when the associates come to this world, they perform a pastime of going through the same process to instruct us. So like Raghunath Das Goswami, he went through the whole lila of showing the whole process of it. But I mean, Raghunath Das Goswami's Rati Manjari. He's not, it's not like he has to go through the whole sadhan process. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we see his from an external perspective, his evolution and his progress in spiritual life, even though he's Kamala Manjari. So this is, they perform all these pastimes just to instruct us. Apane she aparad Prabhu ghuchaiya, mayere dilen prem sabha shikhaiya. The Lord bestowed ecstatic love on his mother only after ensuring that she was relieved of that offense. E boro adbhut katha shuno savadhane, vaiṣṇava-aparādha ghuche ihar shravane. Listen carefully to this wonderful topic, for by hearing this narration, one will be freed from offenses to the Vaishnavas. So this is a most important chapter. By hearing this, one will be freed from offenses to the Vaishnavas. Ekadin Mahaprabhu Gauranga Sundar Uthiya Boshilo Vishnu Kathar Upar. One day, Gauranga Mahaprabhu climbed on the throne of Lord Vishnu. Nija Murti Shila Sav Kori Nija Kole Apana Prakashe Gora Chandra Kutuhale. Gaurachandra took all his forms as Shalagram Shilas on his lap and joyfully revealed himself. Mui Kali Juge Krishna, Mui Narayan, Mui Rama Rupe Koilu, Sagar Bandhan. In Kali Yuga, I am Krishna and I am Narayan. I am the form of Ram. I built a bridge over the ocean. Shutiya achinu kir sagar bhitare, mor nidra bhangile ka nadar hunkare. I was sleeping in the ocean of milk, but my sleep was broken by the loud cries of Advaita. Prema bhakti bilaite amar prakash, mago mago are nada, mago Srinivas. I descended to distribute ecstatic love of God. O Nada, O Srinivas, ask for some benediction. Deki Mahaprakasha Nityānanda Rai, Tato Khone Tuli Chhatra Dhorilo Mathai. On seeing the Lord's divine manifestation, Nityananda Prabhu immediately held an umbrella over the Lord's head. Bama dike Gadadhar, Tambula Jogai, Chari dike Bhaktagan, Chamara Dulai. From the left of the Lord, Gadadhar offered betel nuts. Devotees on all sides fanned the Lord with chamars. Bhakti Jog Bilai, Gauranga Maheshwar, Jahar Jahate Priti Loy Sheivar. As Lord Gauranga distributed pure devotional service, the devotees asked for benedictions according to their desires. Keho bole mor bap boro dushtamati, tar chitta bhalo hoile mor abhyahati. Someone said, "My father is sinful-minded. I will be relieved if his heart changes." Keho mage guru prati, keho shishya prati, keho putra, keho patni jar jatharati. According to the respective attachments, someone requested a benediction for his guru, someone for his student, for his disciple, someone for his son, and someone for his wife. Gaudiya Bhashya. When Lord Shri Gaurasundar displayed his divine manifestation, various persons requested benedictions for their offensive guru, offensive son, offensive disciple, or offensive wife. In other words, when various persons prayed for devotional service for their loved ones, the Lord awarded them suitable benedictions. It's very interesting, huh? I mean, we see how Prahlad Maharaj prayed for his offensive father. So it's not just because if someone's offensive, we don't just want to condemn that person to hell and may he suffer, but we pray that please may this person's heart change. And Bhakta Vakya Satyakari Prabhu Vishwambhar Hasya Savare Dila Prem Bhaktivar. Lord Vishwambar makes the words of his devotees come true. He smiled as he awarded the benediction of loving devotional service to everyone. Mahashaya Srinivas Bolen Goshai Aire Deyabo Prema Aire Deyabo Prem E Sabechai. Srinivas Mahashaya said, "O Lord, we all want you to give ecstatic love to Mother Shachi." Prabhu bole ihana boliba Srinivas, tare nahe dimo prem bhaktir bilas. The Lord replied, Do not say that, Srinivas. I will not give her the enjoyment of ecstatic love of God. Prem bhaktir bilas. Vaiṣṇava-aparādha Śacīdevī Ataeva tan hoilo prem bhakti badha. She has committed an offense against a Vaishnav, so there is an impediment to her attainment of ecstatic love. Gaudiya Bhashya. When Srivas Pandit saw everyone drowning in the flood of Krishna Prem, he requested Sri Gaur Hari to give ecstatic love to his mother. Mahaprabhu then replied, She is an offender of a Vaishnav, so there is no possibility for her to achieve ecstatic love of God. Mahabhakta Srinivas bole arbar, ek khathai Prabhu deho tyag se sabar. The eloquent Srivas again spoke, O Lord, these words will make us leave our bodies. We'll give up our bodies hearing these words. Tumi heno putra jar garbe avatar, tar ki no hivo prem joge adhikar. How can she, who has given birth to a son like you, not be eligible to achieve ecstatic love of God? Gaudiya Bhashya. Shiva said, the mother from whose womb you, who are directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead, have appeared, is not eligible to achieve ecstatic love of God? Such words will certainly drive the devotees to give up their bodies. The mother of Gaurasundar is the mother of the entire universe. Therefore, everyone sincerely requested ecstatic love for her so that she would become inclined towards the Lord's service. Sabar jivana ay jagater mata, maya chari prabhu tane ho bhakti data. Mother Shachi is the life of everyone and the mother of the universe. O Lord, give up your illusion and bestow devotional service on her. Tumi jar putra prabhu se sarva janani putrasthane mayer ki aparādha gani. O Lord, you are her son, so she is the mother of everyone. Can the son consider the offense of his own mother? Jadi ba vaiṣṇava-sthane thake aparādh, tathapiha khandaiya koroho prasad. Prasad, it should be prasad, not prasad. Even if she has committed an offense against a Vaishnav, be merciful and destroy it. Prabhu bole upadesh kahite she pari, vaiṣṇava-aparādha ami khandaite nari. The Lord replied, I can give instructions, but I am unable to destroy an offense against a Vaishnav. Gaudiya Bhashya. It is true that I can instruct everyone about devotional service, but I am never able to deliver one who has offended a Vaishnav out of envy. Jai vaiṣṇava-sthane aparādha hoy jar, puna she kamile she ghuche nahe ar. If one offends a Vaishnav, the offense can be excused only by that Vaishnav, no one else. No one else, including me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one can be excused. Gaudiya Bhashya. Only the Vaishnav who has been offended can excuse the offender, as was the case when Durvasa offended King Ambarish. If Mother Shachi takes the dust from Advaita's feet on her head, then Advaita Prabhu will forgive her offense, and I will be able to instruct my mother about devotional service to the Lord. Durvasar aparad Ambarisha sthane, tumi jano tar khoy hoilo kemone. You know how Durvasa's offense against Ambarish was nullified. Nadar sthane te ache tano aparad, nada kamile hoy premer prasad. She has offended Nada, so she can attain ecstatic love only when Nada forgives her. Advaita charana dhuli loile mathai, hoy beka prema bhakti amar agyai. If she takes the dust from Advaita's feet on her head, then by my order she will attain ecstatic love of God. Tokone cholila sabe Advaiter sthane, Advaitere kohile kosaba vivarane. Thereafter, all the devotees went to Advaita and explained everything to him in detail. Shuniya Advaita kore Shri Vishnu smaran, tomra loite chaho amar jivan. On hearing their words, Advaita remembered Lord Vishnu and asked, do you all want to kill me? Whenever we hear or see any disturbing thing, we see from Advaita's example, you remember Vishnu. Tomra loite chaho amar jivan? Do you want to take my life from me? Do you want to kill me? Gaudiya Bhashya. When the devotees went to Śrī Advaita Prabhu and requested him to forgive Shachi Mata's offense, Advaita Prabhu remembered Lord Vishnu and informed the devotees that he was committing an offense by hearing their words. We are dependent sons of Śrī, who bore the Supreme Lord within our womb. So can we ever think that our mother is an offender? Rather than purifying myself by taking dust from my mother's feet on my head, you are out to destroy my respect and devotion for my mother. Jar garbe mohar prabhur avatar, she mor janani moi putra she tahar. She from whose womb my Lord incarnated is my mother, and I am her son. Jai air charana dhulir ami patra, she air prabhava na jani tilo matra. I am an aspirant for the dust from the feet of that mother. I do not even know the least of her glories. Vishnu Bhakti Sarupini, I Jagan Mata, Tomra Vamukhe Kene Ano Heno Katha. She is the mother of the universe and the personification of devotional service to Vishnu. How can you say such things? Gaudiya Bhashya. The most chaste Mother Shachi is directly the personification of devotional service. Therefore, it is most unreasonable to speak such rash words. Prakrita shabde o jeba boli beka I shabda prabhave tahar dukha nai. Even if one utters the word I as a mundane word, by the influence of the word I, one will be freed from all suffering. Wow. Gaudiya Bhashya. Even if with material consideration one utters the word I, as Śrī Śacīdevī, the mother of Śrī Gaur, even if with material consideration one utters the word I, as Śrī Śacīdevī, the mother of Śrī Gaur, was addressed, uttering this word can free a living entity from the threefold material miseries. Jai Ganga She I Kichu Bhedanai, Devaki Yashoda Jai She Vastu I. There is no difference between the Ganga and Mother Shachi. In fact, she is non-different from Devaki and Yashoda. Kohite Air Tattva Acharya Goshai, Porila Avishta Hoya, Abahya Kichu Noi. Oh, Haribol Krishnamai Didi. While describing the glories of Mother Shachi, Acharya Goshai became overwhelmed and fell unconscious to the ground. Wow. Gaudiya Bhashya. While speaking about Śacīdevī, Advaita Prabhu lost external consciousness and said, "The respectable Mother Shachi and Ganga are one and the same. She is not different from Devaki and Yashoda." So he said that, and then he fell unconscious. Bhujiya shomoy ailo bahire, acharya charana dhuli loi len shire. Realizing that her opportunity had come, Mother Shachi came forward and took the dust from Advaita's feet on her head. Parama Vaishnavi I Murti Mati Bhakti, Vishwambar Gharbe Dhori Len Jar Shakti. As the personification of devotional service, Murti Mati Bhakti, Mother Shachi was an exalted Vaishnavi. She had the power to bear Vishwambar within her womb. Gaudiya Bhashya. Śacīdevī was the mother of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, she had the service capacity to bear the Supreme Lord within her womb. She was a devoted servant of the Supreme Lord. Since Advaita Prabhu had just lost external consciousness, she accepted the opportunity to take the dust from Advaita's feet on her head. Acharya charana dhuli loila jakhone, vivale porila I bahya nahi jane. As soon as Mother Shachi took the dust from Advaita's feet on her head, she became overwhelmed and fell unconscious. Advaita Acharya fell unconscious, describing the glories of Mother Shachi, and Mother Shachi fell unconscious, taking the dust of Advaita's feet on her head. So they're both unconscious on their, because of each other's glories. Gaudiya Bhashya. As soon as Śacīdevī took the dust from Advaita's feet, her agitation for Krishna Prem flourished. Śacīdevī also lost her external consciousness. Jai Jai Hari Bole Vaishnava Shakal Anyone Koroye Śrī Caitanya Kolaholo. All the Vaishnavas chanted, "All glories to Lord Hari!" Then the tumultuous glorification of Lord Chaitanya arose among them. Advaiter Bahya Nahi Air Prabhave Air Nahi Ko Bahya Advaitanu Bhave. Advaita lost external consciousness by the influence of Mother Shachi, and Mother Shachi lost external consciousness by the influence of Advaita. Donhar Prabhave Donhe Hoila Vival Hari Hari Dvani Kore Vaishnava Mandal. They both became overwhelmed by the influence of each other, and the assembled Vaishnavas all chanted the name of Lord Hari. Hase Prabhu Vishwambar Katar Upare Prasanna Hoiya Prabhu Bole Jana Nire. Lord Vishwambar smiled as he sat there on the throne. Being pleased, the Lord spoke to his mother. Chaitanya-bhāgavata is just so dramatic. Ekono she Vishnu Bhakti Hoilo Tomar Advaiter Sthane Aparādha Nahi Ar. So the Lord spoke to his mother. He said, "Now you have attained devotional service to Vishnu. Now you are free from the offense against Advaita. Shri Mukher Anugraha Shuniya Bachan Jai Jai Hari Dhwani Hoilo Thakon." When the devotees heard those merciful words from the Lord's mouth, they all chanted, "Jai, Jai, all glories to Lord Hari." Jana Nir Lakhe Shiksha Guru Bhagavan Korayen vaiṣṇava-aparādha savadhan. The Supreme Lord, the instructing spiritual master of all, cautioned everyone about vaiṣṇava-aparādha by using his mother as an example. Gaudiya Bhashya. The pastime Gaurasundar manifested in teaching how Shachi became freed from offense against Advaita revealed that even the most powerful personality can be deprived of achieving all kinds of good fortune because of committing an offense against a Vaishnav. This verse is amazing. We in our shloka group, we memorized this verse here before when I used to do shlokas. Shulopani samajadi Vaishnavere ninde tatapiho nashapai kohe shastre brinde. Actually, we learned a similar verse to this. Same point, but some of the words were different. But yeah, Chaitanya-bhāgavata, I think, has maybe 2 or 3 times it has this very point about Shulapani, even uses the same word, Shulapani. So it says, even if someone on the level of Lord Shiva blasphemes a devotee, he will soon be destroyed. This is the verdict of all scriptures. Shiva is the topmost Vaishnav, right? We hear that Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu. Among all Vaishnavas, Shiva is the topmost. But even the topmost Vaishnav, if the topmost Vaishnav blasphemes a devotee, that person will be destroyed. This is a verdict of all scriptures. Iha namaniya je sujan ninda kore janme janme she papishta daiva doshe more. Sinful people who ignore this fact and blaspheme devotees suffer the punishment of providence, birth after birth. Anyer ki dai gora singher janani tahare o vaiṣṇava-aparādha kori gani. What to speak of others? Even the mother of Gaura Singha was not exempt from being considered an offender of a Vaishnava. Gaudiya Bhashya. Those most sinful offenders who display the audacity to blaspheme Vaishnavas are totally destroyed by the wrath of Providence. When vaiṣṇava-aparādha displayed its formidable prowess even on Śacīdevī, who is fortunate enough to be Sri Gaurasundar's mother, then what to speak of others? Vastu vicharete sheho aparādha nahe, tathapiha aparādha kori prabhu kohe. Actually, it was not even an offense, yet the Lord treated it as an offense. Yeah, because when you hear what Mother Shachi did, it doesn't sound that bad. Like it doesn't sound like an offense to me even. But the Lord treated it as an offense. The Lord's very sensitive when it comes to his devotees being offended in any way. Ihare advaita nam kene loke ghoshe, dvaita bolilen ay kona asantoshe. Why do people call him Advaita? So it says, Ihare Advaita nam kene loka ghoshe. So why do people call him Advaita? And what displeasure prompted Mother Shachi to call him Dvaita? She kotha kohi shuno hoy savadhan, prasange kohiye vishvaruper akhyan. Listen carefully as I narrate that topic, which is related to Vishvarup. Okay, so why did Mother Shachi call Advaita Dvaita? So why did she call Advaita Acharya Dvaita? Let's hear. Prabhur agraja Vishvarupa Mahashai, Bhuvana Durlabharup Mahatejamay. Vishvarup Mahashai was the Lord's elder brother. His greatly effulgent form was unique within this world. Sarva Shastre Visharad Parama Sudhir Nityānanda Swaruper Abhed Sharir. He was expert in all the scriptures and most sober. He was non-different from Nityānanda Swarup. Gaudiya Bhashya. Vishvarup, the Lord's elder brother, was expert in all scriptures. He was non-different from Sri Nityānanda Swarup. Tan vakya buje heno nahi navadvipe, shishu bhave thake prabhu balaka samipe. No one in Navadvip was able to understand his explanations. Yet he remained in the mood of a child and kept company with young boys. Gaudiya Bhashya. No learned scholar of Navadvip was able to understand the meaning of Vishvarup's explanations. Like an ordinary boy, however, Vishvarup was situated in the mood of a child. Ekadina sabhai cholila mishravar, pache Vishvarupa putra parama sundar. One day, Jagannath Mishra went to an assembly of scholars. His handsome son, Vishvarup, followed behind him. It says, Param Sundar, supremely beautiful son, followed behind him. Bhattacharya sabhai cholila Jagannath, Vishvarupa dekhi boro kautuka sabhata. When Jagannath entered the assembly of Bhattacharyas, everyone there became pleased on seeing Vishvarup. Nityānanda Rupa Prabhu Parama Sundar, Hari Len Sarva Chitta Sarva Shakti Dhar. His eternally blissful form was most enchanting. He attracted the hearts of everyone, for he possesses all potencies. Eka Bhattacharya bole ki poro chawalo, Vishvarupa bole kichu kichu sabakara. One Bhattacharya asked, "O child, what are you studying?" Vishvarup replied, "I know a little of everything." Kichu kichu sabakar. I'm learning. Well, actually, he's just saying, what are you studying? I'm studying a little of everything. That's what he said. Not, I know a little of everything. Gaudiya Bhashya. One of the scholars asked Vishvarup, "O child, how far have you progressed in the field of education?" In reply, Vishvarup said, I have studied something from all scriptures. As a result of this, his father Jagannath became disturbed and chastised the child Vishvarup. Shishu gyane keho kichu na bolilo ar, mishra pailen dukh shuni ahankar. Considering him a child, no one spoke further. But Jagannath Mishra was distressed on hearing his son's arrogant reply. Nija karja kori Mishra cholilen ghar, pate Vishwarupere marila ekar chara. After finishing his business, Jagannath Mishra departed for home. On the way, he slapped Vishwarup. And now he's saying, and he's speaking in this way, Porish beta. Jay punti Porish beta, tahana bolia, ki bolo bolili tui sabha majhe giya. Son, rather than telling what you are studying, why did you speak like that in the assembly? Tomare to sabar hoilo murkha gyan, amare odile laja kori apaman. Everyone considered you a fool, and your arrogance has embarrassed me. Parama udar Jagannatha Mahāprabhu, ghare gela putrere koriya boro raga. The most fortunate and greatly magnanimous Jagannath returned home after exhibiting great anger at his son. Towards his son, sorry. Puna Vishwarupashe sabha majhe giya, bhattacharya sab prati bolen hasiya. Meanwhile, Vishwarup returns to the assembly and spoke to the Bhattacharyas with a smile on his face. Tomra to amare jigyasa na korila, baper stanete ama shasti koraila. None of you questioned me, so I was punished by my father. Jigyasa korite jaha karo loy mane, sabe meli taha jigyasaho amastane. All of you unite and ask me whatever you want. Hashi bole eka bhattacharya shuno shishu, aji je porile taha baka naho kichu. One Bhattacharya smiled as he said, "Listen, child, explain something about what you have studied today." Bakhanoye Sutra Vishwarupa Bhagavan, Sabar Chitete Vyakhya Hoilo Praman. As Lord Vishwarup began to explain some sutras, his explanations struck everyone as conclusive. Shabe bolen sutra bhalo bakhanila, Prabhu bole bhandailo kichu na bhujila. They exclaimed, "You have explained the sutras very nicely." Vishwarup replied, "I have deceived you. You have not understood anything." Jata bakhanilo shab korilo khandan, vismoy sabar chitte hoilo thakon. When he then refuted whatever he had established, everyone's heart was struck with wonder. E mate tin bar koriya khandan, punashe tin bar korilo sthapan. In this way, he refuted and then re-established the explanations 3 times. Gaudiya Bhashya. After being chastised by his father, Vishwarup returned to the assembly of scholars. When he was then questioned by the scholars, he began to explain the Vedanta Sutras. After he gave the audience great satisfaction by his explanations, he then refuted his explanations. And after he then re-established his refuted explanations, and then he again refuted them. Parama subhuddhi kori sabe bakhanilo, Vishnu maya mohe keho tattva na janilo. He explains everything in a most intellectual way, but by the influence of the illusory energy of Vishnu, no one could fathom what he had said. Gaudiya Bhashya. Vishwarup is directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, being bewildered by the illusory energy of Vishnu, the scholars could not understand anything about the science of the absolute truth. Since devotional service, the eternal propensity of the soul, had not awakened in them, they were ineligible to understand those explanations. This did not surprise Sankarshan Prabhu. Vishwarup, who is Lord Sankarshan. Okay. He namate navadvipe vaishe Vishwarup, bhakti shunya loka dekhi na pae kautuka. In this way, Vishwarup resided in Navadvip. Yet he was not pleased to see that people were bereft of devotional service. Vyavahar made matta shakal sangsar, na kore vaiṣṇava jasha mangal vichar. Everyone was intoxicated with pride over ordinary activities. They did not engage in glorification of the Vaishnavas. Gaudiya Bhashya. Sorry, I just got distracted by a message. Ordinary people intoxicated with material conceptions did not care for glorification of the most auspicious devotional service of Vishnu. Such people were absorbed in material activities, so they could not understand that the Vaishnavas were certainly most exalted, most elevated, and most glorious. Actually, guys, do you mind if I just do something really quick? Because Srivas is on the train and he can check over something I translated. And I just don't want to miss the opportunity because he's really busy now. Projects Gaudiya Kitikucha, new songs. I just translated this Virajara Pore, and I wanted Srivas to check my translation. Oops, yeah. Actually, I'll copy it and then send it to him because he's using WhatsApp. Hey Srivas, I'm just in the middle of a Caitanya-bhāgavata reading, but I'll send it to you more nicely laid out afterwards. But I just wanted to get it to you quick in case your connection disappears. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you for waiting. I'm on a marathon with the songbook, and we have so little time, so I need to really, yeah. Okay, Gaudiya Bhashya. Oh wait, we just read that. Okay. So Putradir Mahotsave Kore Dhan Vyay Krishna Puja Krishna Dharma Keho Na Janai. They spent their wealth on festivals for their sons and family members. They did not know anything about the worship of Krishna or the devotional service of Krishna. Gaudiya Bhashya. Materialistic people considered the removal of distress for enjoying the fruits of karma as dharma. Fathers thought that whatever wealth they had accumulated should be spent on marriages and other occasions for increasing the happiness of their children. None of them accepted that their accumulated wealth should be spent for the worship of Krishna or to achieve knowledge of devotional service to Krishna. What to speak of then? Even today, many thoughtless people consider that helping people who are suffering the results of their karma is superior to worshipping Krishna or achieving knowledge of devotional service to Krishna. Jata adhyapaka shab tarka sheba khane Krishna bhakti Krishna puja kichui na jane. All the teachers simply indulged in useless argument. They did not know anything about the worship of Krishna or the devotional service of Krishna. Gaudiya Bhashya. While attempting to establish the prominence of useless mundane arguments, the learned teachers failed to understand that service to Krishna and worship of Krishna are supreme. Jadiva podai keho Bhagavata Gita, Sheho Nabakane Bhakti Kore Shushka Chinta. Even though some taught Śrīmad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, they did not refer to devotional service, but simply engaged in dry speculation. Gaudiya Bhashya. In spite of teaching their students Vaishnava literatures like Bhagavad Gita and Śrīmad Bhagavatam, the teachers displayed external consideration by engaging in useless arguments and dry speculation rather than thinking of their own benefit. Sarvasthane Vishwarup Thakur Bedai Bhakti Yoga Na Shuniya Boro Dukha Pai. As Lord Vishwarup wandered here and there, he became unhappy because he did not hear anything about devotional service to the Lord. Shakale Advaita Singha Purna Krishna Shakti Poraiya Vashishta Vakhane Krishna Bhakti. Only the lion-like Advaita, being endowed with Krishna's full potencies, explains devotional service to Krishna while teaching Yoga Vashishta. Gaudiya Bhashya. While explaining Yoga Vashishta, Advaita Prabhu describes devotional service to Krishna. Since he possessed Krishna's full potencies, his designation as Vaiṣṇava-agrani, the topmost Vaishnav, was appropriate. Vishwarup, the elder brother of Mahaprabhu, was particularly unhappy because of not hearing topics of Hari anywhere in the world. He therefore felt great ecstasy on attaining the association of Advaita Prabhu. Advaiter Vyakhya Bhuje Henokon Ache Vaishnaver Agraganya Nadiyara Majhe. Who is able to understand the explanations of Advaita? He was the topmost Vaishnav in Nadia. Kishore is asking, what is Yoga Vashishta? I don't actually know. My guess is I'm just totally guessing, but like the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, maybe? Yoga Vashishta? I don't know. That's what I'm guessing. Chaturdike Vishwarup Paya Mano Dukha Advaiter Sthane Shave Pai Prema Sukha. Wherever he went, Vishwarup felt unhappy. Yet he attains the happiness of ecstatic love in the association of Advaita. Prem Sukh. Niravadi Thake Prabhu Advaiter Shange Vishwarupa Sahita Advaita Rasarange. Vishwarup constantly remained in the association of Advaita, and they both relished the mellows of ecstatic love. Parama Balaka Prabhu Gauranga Sundar Kutilo Kuntala Vesha Ati Manohar. At that time, Lord Gaurasundar was only a child with curly hair and enchanting dress. Mae bole Vishwambar Jahora Diya Tomar Bhaire Jhat Daki Anogiya. Mother Shachi told him, Vishwambar, go quickly and bring your brother. Mayer Adeshe Prabhu Dhai Vishwambar Satvare Aila Jatha Advaiter Ghar. Oh, this is, I think they have these verses on the outside of Advaita Acharya's house in Mayapur. I think. Yes. On the order of his mother, Vishwambar ran quickly to the house of Advaita. Boshiyache Advaita Bediya Bhaktagan Shivasari Koriya Jateka Mahajan. There, Advaita was sitting in the midst of exalted devotees, headed by Srivas. Vishwambar bole bhai, bhata kao giya, bilamba na koro bole hasiya hasiya. Vishwambar smiled and said, "Oh, brother, come to eat lunch. Don't be late." Hasiya hasiya. Harilo sabar chitta Prabhu Vishwambar Sabe deke shishurup parama sundar. Lord Vishwambar captured the hearts of everyone as they gazed at his most attractive form as a child. Mohita hoya chahe Advaita Acharya, she mukha chahe sab parihari karja. Advaita Acharya forgot everything else and became struck with wonder as he looked at the face of the Lord. Yeah, you'll see they have a big sign, a wooden sign, and it's painted on the sign. This whole lila, like these Bengali verses. E mato pratidin mayer adeshe vishwarupe dakivar chalete aise. In this way, on the order of his mother, the Lord daily went to Advaita's house on the pretext of calling Vishwarup. Chintaye Advaita chitte dekhi Vishwambar mor chitta hare shishu parama sundar. When Advaita saw Vishwambar, he thought, this most attractive child is stealing my heart. Mor chitta harite ki pare anya jan, eba mohar prabhu mohe mor man. This child attracts my mind, so he must be my Lord, for who else can steal away my heart? Sarvabhuta hriday Thakur Vishwambar, chintite Advaita jhata choli jai ghar. Lord Vishwambar dwells in the hearts of all living entities. As soon as Advaita would think like this, the Lord departed for home. Niravadi Vishwarup Advaiter Shange Chariya Sangsar Shuk Goayen Range. Vishwarup rejected all worldly enjoyment and joyfully passed his time in the association of Advaita. Vishwarup Katha Adi Khandete Vistar Ananta Charitra Nityānanda Kalevar. The topics regarding Vishwarup were elaborated in the Adi-khaṇḍa. He is non-different from Nityānanda, so his characteristics are unlimited. Ishwarer icha sab Ishwar se jane Vishwarup sanyasa korilo koto dine. Only the Supreme Lord knows the desire of the Supreme Lord. Within a short time, Vishwarup accepted sannyas. Jagate vidita nam Śrī Shankararanya Chalila Anantapate Vaiṣṇava-agraganya. He then became known throughout the world as Śrī Shankararanya. As he traversed the path of devotional service to Lord Krishna, he became celebrated as the topmost Vaishnav. Gaudiya Bhashya. By the association of Advaita Prabhu, Sri Vishwarup left home and traversed the path of devotional service. His sannyas name was Shankararanya. Therefore, when Mother Shachi saw that Vishwarup left home because of the association of Advaita Prabhu, she became unhappy with Advaita Prabhu. Śacīdevī did not publicly criticize the behavior of Advaita Prabhu, but she nevertheless enacted the pastime of committing an offense against Advaita. I guess just in her mind, even. She didn't even speak anything out loud. She just in her mind. And it wasn't even that serious. I mean, I don't think. Let's see. Kori danda grahana chalila Vishwarup niravadi air vidare shoke bhuk. After Vishwarup took sannyas and departed, Mother Shachi's heart was constantly filled with grief. Mone mone gone ai hoya sustir Advaita she mor putra korilo bahir. When Mother Shachi became pacified, she thought, Advaita induced my son to leave home. Tatapiha ai vaiṣṇava-aparādha bhoye kichu na boloye mane mahadukha paye. Yet, out of fear of offending a Vaishnav, Mother Shachi did not say anything, but kept her grief within. So she was even fearful of making vaiṣṇava-aparādha, so she didn't say anything. Vishvambar dekhi shab, pasharila duk. Prabhu o mayer boro, barayen suk. She forgot all distress when she saw Vishvambar, and the Lord also endeavored to increase her happiness. Daive koto dine Prabhu korila prakash, niravadi advaiter sanghati vilas. After the Lord revealed himself in due course of time, he constantly enjoyed pastimes with Advaita. Chariya sangsar sukh, Prabhu Vishvambhar, Lakshmi parihari thake advaiter ghar. Lord Vishvambar then rejected all worldly happiness. He gave up the company of Lakshmi and passed his time at the house of Advaita. Gaudiya Bhashya. Since Sri Gaurahari gave up the association of his own wife, so he gave up the association of his own life, Lakshmi Devi, and he passed his time with Advaita Prabhu. So because of that, Śacīdevi's apathy for Advaita Prabhu began to increase. Oh no, the same thing is happening to Vishvambar. What happened to Vishvarup? Narohe grihete putra, heno dekhi ai, eho putra nilamor, acharya goshai. She dukhe shabe e bolilen ai, ke bole advaita dvaita e boro goshai. Chandra sama ekaputra koriya bahir, eho putra na dilen kori bare sthir. Anathini more to kaharo na doya, jagate advaita mohe she dvaita maya. Shabe e aparad ar kichunai, ihar lagia bhakti na den goshai. And remember, Śacīdevi, she lost Jagannath Mishra, and then she lost Vishvarup. All she had was Vishvambar. And so you can imagine how difficult this. I mean, we can't imagine, but yeah. When Mother Shachi saw that her son was not staying home, she said, Acharya Goshai will take away this son also. In lamentation, she continued, Why is he called Advaita? This Goshai is actually Dvaita. He has already induced one of my moon-like sons to leave home, and now he will not leave my other son in peace. I am a widow. No one has compassion on me. He is Advaita to the world, but he is bewildering me with his network of duality. This was her only offense, nothing else. For this reason, the Lord did not bestow devotional service on her. Oof. This is heavy, huh? I've definitely said much heavier things and thought much heavier things against Vaishnavas. And even, this pastime is so heavy. Gaudiya Bhashya. In an angry mood, Śacīdevi said, Now I have only one son left of my family. Since by his counsel, Advaita Prabhu engaged my other son in the principles of sannyas, I have been deprived of his service. Now he is giving counsel to my other son. Therefore, it should have said service to him. It's always confusing when they do that, when they say of his service. She means service to him. Therefore, even though Advaita Prabhu is known as Advaita to the world, he is covering me with a network of illusion. As a result of this offense, Śacīdevi enacted the pastime of being averse to the service of the Supreme Lord. Through this example of Śacīdevi, Sachimata, it's pretty clear why we don't all have Krishna Prem yet. Also, Satya Mataji is mentioning the point, also the loss of one of her daughters-in-law. Yes, Lakshmi Priya. So she is already in so much pain. And now seeing Vishvambar going through the same thing as Vishwarup, how could we expect anything else? Ekale je Vaishnaver, boro chota bole, nischinte thakuk, she jani be koto kale, Jananir lakhe shiksha guru bhagavan, vaiṣṇava-aparādha korayena savadhan. Let those who consider some Vaishnavas as superior and some as inferior remain free from anxiety for now. But in due course of time, they will come to learn. The Supreme Lord, the instructing spiritual master of all, cautioned everyone about vaiṣṇava-aparādha by using his mother as an example. Gaudiya Bhashya. While considering the offense committed by Sri Gaurasundar's mother at the feet of Advaita, some people will mistakenly accept Advaita Prabhu as Sri Krishna. And while comparing Sri Nityānanda Prabhu with Sri Advaita Prabhu, they will place Nityānanda Prabhu in an inferior position. They will soon realize the grave consequences of analyzing through mental speculation who of the two servants of Gaurasundar is superior and who is inferior. Although Sri Gaur Hari used his mother as an example to reveal that Advaita Prabhu was the best of the Vaishnavas, his main purpose was to establish and preach that his own devotee Advaita was a Vaishnav, so that foolish people would not accept him as Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, Krishna, the original personality of Godhead. To protect a few of Sri Advaita Prabhu's sinful eulogists, so that they would not consider Advaita as Sri Krishna, and Sri Gaurasundar and Nityānanda as subordinates to him, so that people wouldn't consider that, the Lord got his mother's offense excused to establish Advaita Prabhu as a Vaishnav. Chaitanya Singhir Agya Koriya Lankhan, Na Bhuji Vaishnava Ninde Paibe Bandhan. Anyone who transgresses the order of the lion-like Lord Chaitanya by blaspheming Vaishnavas will suffer the bondage of material existence. E katar hetu kichu shuno mana diya, je nimitta Gora Chandra bolilen iha. Now hear attentively why Gaurachandra performed this pastime. Trikala janen Prabhu Shri Śacīnandan, janen sevibe advaitere dushtagan. Shri Śacīnandan knew the past, present, and future, so he knew that some miscreants would worship Advaita Prabhu. Advaitere gaibek Shri Krishna boliya, jata kichu Vaishnaver vachana nindiya. They would glorify Advaita as Lord Krishna and disregard the words of the Vaishnavas. Jai bolibe Advaitere parama Vaishnav, tahare bediya langhi be papi shab. Langhibe papi shab, sorry. Those sinners would ridicule persons who accept Advaita as the topmost Vaishnav. Gaudiya Bhashya. Sinful offenders in the form of eulogists will offend Advaita Prabhu by opposing the statement, Sri Advaita Prabhu is not directly Krishna, he is a great Vaishnav. Wow, those people in the line of Advaita who still accept Advaita as the Supreme Lord, like as the superior or whatever, like we were reading, they must really not like Chaitanya-bhāgavata, because there's been a lot in Chaitanya-bhāgavata on this topic. Oh, Shubhananda Prabhu just clarified Kishore's question that Yoga Vishishta is a book regarding the teachings of Sage Vashishta to Lord Ram. Thank you, Shubhananda Prabhu. Okay, so Sheshab Ganir Pakka Advaita Dhorite Eto boro Shakti Nahi E Danda Dekhite. After everyone saw this pastime of punishment, it became understood that Advaita Prabhu does not have the power to protect such people. Shakala Sarvagya Chura Mani Vishwambar, Janen Vilambe Hoy Beka Bahutar. Vishwambar is the crest jewel of omniscient persons, so he knew that further delay would produce many more people like this. Ataiva Danda Dekhaiya Jananire, Shakhi Korilen Advaitadi Vaishnavere. He therefore awarded punishment to his own mother in the presence of the Vaishnavas, headed by Advaita. This is interesting. So the Lord had two purposes, like it looks like. One is to show that Advaita is a Vaishnav, and the other is to show how grave making vaiṣṇava-aparādha is, if I'm understanding correctly. I might not be understanding this correctly though. Vaishnaver ninda kori beka jargon, tar rakha samarthya nahi ko kona jan. A Vaishnav is unable to protect any of his followers who engages in blasphemy of Vaishnavas. Gaudiya Bhashya. If a so-called disciple of a Vaishnav blasphemes another Vaishnav, the Vaishnav Guru will never protect such a disciple. If one disrespects Śrī Nityānanda and tries to become intimate with those who eulogize Advaita, Advaita Prabhu will never approve of such a philosophy. Those who, after attaining the position of spiritual master, either personally engage in blasphemy of Vaishnavas or support their followers' blasphemy of Vaishnavas, they certainly become degraded. Vaishnava nindaka gan, jahar ashray, apane edaite tahar shangshay. The deliverance of even a person whose followers engage in blasphemy of Vaishnavas is doubtful. Wow. So a guru must be very careful that their disciples or followers don't ever blaspheme a Vaishnav, because then their deliverance will even be doubtful. Right? Vaishnav nindak gan jahar ashray apane eraite tahar shangshay. Boro adhikari hoy apane erai, khudra hoile gan sah adhapate jai. If he is highly qualified, he can protect himself. But if he is weak, then he falls down along with his followers. Wow, this is very interesting, huh? Okay, so maybe somebody like Srila Prabhupada, if some of Srila Prabhupada's followers criticize commit vaiṣṇava-aparādha, if the person is highly qualified, he can protect himself. So Srila Prabhupada can protect himself, even if his disciples. But if one is weak, so a guru that's not on the level of Srila Prabhupada, on the level of my Srila Gurudev, on that kind of level, and his disciples criticize, then he'll fall down along with his disciples. Chaitanyar danda bhuji bare shaktikar, jananir lakhe danda korilo sabar. That's why gurus have to be so careful of who they accept as their disciples. Otherwise, if they accept somebody who does that, then that will be the cause of their fall down. Who can understand the punishment awarded by Lord Chaitanya? He cautioned everyone by using his own mother as an example. Jai Bajan Advaitere Vaishnava Bolite, Ninda Kore Danda Kore More Bhalo Mate. One who does not accept Advaita as a Vaishnav ultimately blasphemes and offends him. As a result, that person is properly punished. Gaudiya Bhashya. The efforts of those who identify Śrī Advaita Prabhu as Krishna, rather than accept him as a Vaishnav, certainly transform into blasphemy of Śrī Advaita Prabhu. The destruction of such blasphemers is guaranteed. Sarva Prabhu Gauranga Sundar Maheshwar, E Boro Stuti Je Tahar Anuchar. Gaurasundar is the supreme controller and the Lord of all. To be known as his follower is a great honor. Nityānanda Sarupe She Nishkapata Hoya, Kohilen Gora Chandra Ishwar Koriya. Gaudiya Bhashya. Śrī Advaita Prabhu was a servant of Śrī Gaurasundar. Gaurasundar has addressed Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu as Ishwar. Those who identify Advaita Prabhu as Krishna are certainly envious of Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu. Nityānanda Prasade She Gaura Chandra Jani, Nityānanda Prasade She Vaishnavere Chini. By the mercy of Nityānanda, one can know Gaura Chandra, and by the mercy of Nityānanda, one can recognize a Vaishnav. By the mercy of Nityānanda can one recognize a Vaishnav. Wow, that's really amazing. I like this verse. Gaudiya Bhashya. By the mercy of Śrī Nityānanda, one can recognize Vaishnavas headed by Śrī Advaita. And only by the mercy of Nityānanda can one understand that Śrī Gaurasundar is Krishna. Nityānanda prasade she ninda jai koi, Nityānanda prasade she Vishnu bhakti hoy. We have 4 minutes left. By the mercy of Nityānanda, one's offenses are destroyed, and by the mercy of Nityānanda, one attains devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Gaudiya Bhashya. By the mercy of Śrī Nityānanda, the offenses committed by those wicked persons who eulogize Advaita are destroyed. Simply by the mercy of Śrī Nityānanda, one's inclination towards the service of the Supreme Lord is increased. Ninda nahi Nityānanda sevaker mukhe, aharnisha chaitanyer jasha gai sukhe. The servants of Nityānanda never engage in blasphemy. Day and night, they happily sing the glories of Lord Chaitanya. Nityānanda bhakta shab dike savadhan, Nityānanda bhriter Chaitanya dhana pran. The devotees of Nityānanda are always cautious. Those servants of Nityānanda Prabhu know only Lord Chaitanya as their life and wealth. Alpa bhagye nahi hoy Nityānanda das, jahar lowai kora chandrer prakash. Less fortunate people are not able to become servants of Lord Nityānanda, by whose mercy one can understand Lord Gaurachandra. Jai jan shunaye vishwaruper akyan, she hoy ananta das Nityānanda pran. Anyone who hears topics regarding Vishwarup becomes Lord Ananta's servant. Nityānanda becomes his very life and soul. Nityānanda Vishwarup abhed sharir, I iha jane ar kono dhir. There is no difference between Nityānanda and Vishwarup. Mother Shachi and some other sober persons know this fact. Gaudiya Bhashya. Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu and Vishwarup are not actually separate. Śrī Śacīdevī was fully aware of this. To think that since Vishwarup received spiritual instruction under the guidance of Advaita, Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu was also subordinate to Advaita is extremely unreasonable. Jai Nityānanda Gaura Chandrer Sharan, Jai Jai Nityānanda Sahasravadan. All glories to Nityānanda, who has taken shelter of Lord Gaurachandra. All glories to Nityānanda, who in his form of Ananta has thousands of heads. Gaura Desha Indra Jai Nityānanda Rai, Ke Pai Chaitanya Bine Tomar Kripai. All glories to Nityānanda Rai, the Lord of Gauradesh. Who can attain Lord Chaitanya without your mercy? Nityānanda Heno Prabhu, Harai Jahar, Kotau Jivane Shuk, Nahi Ko Tahar. One who abandons the shelter of Nityānanda Prabhu will never achieve happiness in life. Gaudiya Bhashya. Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu is the presiding Lord of Gauradesh. Without his mercy, no one can attain the shelter of Śrī Chaitanya's lotus feet. If a living entity is bereft of Nityananda's mercy, he can never achieve happiness in life. Heno din hoibe ki Chaitanya nitai, dekivo ki parishar shange ekatai. Will that day ever come when I will see Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda along with their associates? Amar Prabhur Prabhu Gauranga Sundar, E Boro Bharasha Chitte Dhoriye Antar. Śrī Gaurasundar is the Lord of my Lord. I always keep this conviction in my heart. Gaudiya Bhashya. Śrī Nityānanda is always engaged in the service of Śrī Gaurasundar. Therefore, the eternal servants of Śrī Nityānanda maintain the hope that they will attain the mercy of Śrī Gaurasundar, the Lord of Śrī Nityānanda. Okay, this is the last verse. It just turned 8:30, but this is the last verse, so we're yeah. Advaita charane mor, e namaskar, tan priyatahe mati rahuk amar. I pray at the lotus feet of Advaita that my mind may remain fixed on those who are dear to him. Gaudiya Bhashya. May my mind remain fixed at the lotus feet of the actual glorifiers of Śrī Advaita Prabhu. I have no relationship with the sinful disciples. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityānanda Chanda Jan, Vrindavana Dasa Tachu Pada Juge Gan. Accepting Shri Krishna Chaitanya and Nityānanda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Thus ends the English translation of the Gaudiya Bhashya commentary on Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata, Madhya-khaṇḍa, chapter 22, entitled Delivering Śacīdevī from Offense and Descriptions of Nityānanda's Qualities. Okay, so the next 2 days are... Okay, we only went 1 minute over. That's not too bad. So the next 2 days we'll be reading the glories of my... Well, sorry. I don't know what we'll be doing, but over the next 2 days, we'll be doing something for my Gurudev. Tomorrow's my Gurudev's Vyas Puja. Some people say it's on the 9th. Some people say it's on the 10th. I'm going to celebrate it both days. And yeah, so I don't know what we'll do yet. Maybe we'll read something by my Gurudev or about my Gurudev. Maybe if anybody wants to glorify, we'll figure that out. And then after 2 days, and 3 days from now, we will continue our Chaitanya Bhagavat reading. The next chapter is, oh wow, the next chapter is wandering about Navadvip on the day the Lord delivered the Kazi. Wow, tomorrow. That's the epic chapter. That's the first Nagar Sankirtan we'll read about in our next reading. All right. And that will take us a few days. It's 28,000 words. So yeah, that will be a long reading. All right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Okay, Kishore Prabhu, could you do the Jaidwani?
I can, but I have to be a bit quiet.
Oh, if it's too difficult for you, also I can do it. But
I'll try.
Okay.
Sabrika Shishi Guru Gauranga Ganharvika Giridhari Radvinar Viri Ranayana Ratraman Viri Radamarva Shishi Radha Giridhari Juki Jai.
Jai.
Hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mahan Juki Jai. Dayanati Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Brahmans Priya Prachakshare Varya Stotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Vigan Bharati Goswami Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Dayanati Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Brahmans Priya Prachakshare Varya Stotrashta Shishiman नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज पठित पावन शिल गुरुदेव की जाय। जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णु पाद स्तोत्र शिष्यमान पावन गोस्वामी महाराज की जाय। जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णु पाद स्तोत्र शिष्यमान भक्ति फलब्ध्यर्थ गोस्वामी महाराज की जाय। जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णु पाद स्तोत्र शिष्यमान भक्ति ब्रह्म गोस्वामी महाराज की जाय। जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णु पाद स्तोत्र शिष्यमान भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद जय। जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णु पाद स्तोत्र शिष्यमान भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी परम गुरु महाराज की जय। जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णु पाद स्तोत्र शिष्यमान भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव स्वामी महाराज परम गुरुदेव की जय। जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णु पाद स्तोत्र शिष्यमान जगद्गुरु श्री शिल विद्यास मुक्ति स्नान सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय। जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद महापरम भगवत परवार परमहंस शिशिल गौर किशोर दास बख्शी महाराज की जय। जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद सप्तम गोस्वामी अष्टोत्तर शिष्यमात सच्चिदानंद भक्तिविनाथ ठाकुर महाशय की जय। जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद वैष्णव सर्वम अष्टोत्तर शिष्यमात जगन्नाथ बख्शी महाराज की जय। कुंदवासी सदा शिलमद संदास भविष्य महाराज की जय। श्री उर्वरास दास की जय। जय गौरविरान आचार्य शिशिल बलिदेव विभूषण प्रभु की जय। जय महामहुपरियाय रसकश्यरमणि शिल विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती की जय। शिशिल रसिकानंद मुरारी प्रभु की जय। शिशिल रामचंद्र कविराज की जय। श्री लोचन दास ठाकुर की जय। शैलेंद्रोत्तम श्रीनिवास श्यामानंद प्रभु त्राय की जय। श्री शिल कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। जय व्यसवतार परिकाविशल वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्री अष्टराश्वसुरजान नित्यानंद पुरुषोपाल श्री चौषध महंत जगाय मधाय की जय। जय श्री रूपा श्री सनातन भट्टनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टराज रघुनाथ सर्वस्वामी प्रभु जय श्री स्वरूप रामदाराय रमानंद लोकनाथ पार्वती गौर प्रसाद वृंद की जय नमाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से गो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री ईश्वर परिपाल की जय श्री मारविंद्र परिपाल की जय श्री अंतरदीप माय स्मरणदीप गौतमदीप मध्यदीप कलिदीप प्रदीप जानदीप माधव त्रमारे रुद्रदीप मात्मका श्री नवदीप धाम की जय श्री एक चक्र धाम की जय श्री शांतिपुर धाम की जय श्री गौरचंद्र भगवान की जय श्री गौर नित्यानंद अद्वैत की जय श्री श्री गौर गदाधर की जय जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ गोपी कपाग गिरिगोवर्धन दुर्शात्मनात्मक श्री ब्रजमंदो धाम की जय श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गंगा सखी आमन सखी तुलसी भक्ति देव की जय हे वृषभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा रानी ठाकुरानी की जय श्री ललिता विशाख चित्र चंपकलट तुंग विद्या इंदुलेखा रंग देवी सुदेवी सखी वृंद की जय श्री आनंद प्रेम मजलाल श्री रूप लवंगा राघव सुगन रति कस्तूरी कमल नयन मणि मंजारी वृंद की जय श्रीमती वृंद देवी की जय श्री भगवती पूर्णमासी उमा देवी की जय श्री कपीश्वर सरस्वती महादेव की जय हे राधा पंडित राम श्री वृंदावन की जय जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्र नीलमार्ग जीव की जय जय श्री जगन्नाथ पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र मंडल नीलाचल धाम की जय जय सर्व विघ्न विनाशन करे भक्त विघ्न विनाश शेन्द्र सिंह देव की जय जय भक्तराज भक्त प्रभा शिवलाल महाराज की जय शिवलाल लक्ष्मेंद्र सिंह की जय जय श्री चरिधाम चरि संप्रदाय चरि आचार्य की जय जय श्री मध्वार मनोज विष्णु स्वामी नंबदित्य चरि आचार्य की जय आकर मंतराज श्री चैतन्य मार की जय श्री गौरमार वृंद की जय जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमान भगवताम भगवद गीता चैतन्य चरितामृत चैतन्य भगवत जय धर्म श्री द हार्ट ऑफ कृष्ण की जय श्री सर्व गौर वैष्णव ग्रंथ वृंद की जय जय त्रिभुवन मंगल श्री हरि नाम प्रभु की जय जय त्रिभुवन मंगल श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन धर्म की जय जय त्रिभुवन मंगल धन्य कलियुग तर्क ब्रह्म श्री हरि कृष्ण 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 हरि हरि राम नम नाम हरि हरि महामंत्र की जय श्री आनंद प्रिय वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्री सुमकर गौर भक्त वृंद की जय जय परम ब्रह्मन परमाश्चर्यम परमेश्वर पति पावन प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम स्वयं भगवान जगन्नाथ मिश्र नंदन गौर चंद्र गराधर प्राणनाथ श्री विश्वम्बर मिश्र निमाय पंडित श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य चंद्र महाप्रभु जय जय परमा दयाल परमा करुणामय पतित पावन श्री श्रीमान नित्यानंद राम महाजान की जय कन्न गुरु हरि गुरु श्री नित्यानंद हलदार बलराम की जय जय महाविष्णु अवतार सरशिव अवतार भक्त अवतार कमलक्ष शांतिपुर नायक सिद्ध प्रणाथ शिशुमार द्वैताचार्य चंद्र गोस्वामी गौर अन ठाकुर प्रभु महाशय की जय श्री नरदेव की जय श्री मात की जय श्री आनंद प्रिय वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्री सुमर गौर गौर भक्त वृंद की जय जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंद
Vrindai Tulsidevai Priyai Keshavacha Krishna Bhakti Pradati Satyavadaya Namo Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyashta Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams everybody. Kishore Krishna Prabhu, Shubhananda Prabhu, Champak Mataji, Satya Mataji and Krishna Mai Didi had to go. And Ganga Mataji, Sudevi Didi, Vidyalala Sadidi, and I see there are how many other people? 5 other people there right now on YouTube and Facebook, but I can't see your names because you didn't write a comment. But Dandavat pranams, everybody. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you all tomorrow to hear the glories and then teachings of my Srila Gurudev, and also to read. We'll read something, and if anybody has any suggestions for that day, also let me know. And over the next 2 days, we'll be doing that, and then in 3 days from now, we will read about the inauguration of the Sankirtan pastimes, the Nagar Sankirtan pastimes, the first ever Nagar Sankirtan. That's a really amazing, dramatic chapter of Chaitanya-bhāgavata. This is like one of the, yeah. All right, Dandavat pranams, everybody. Hari bol. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say before we end the stream for today? I'm just looking at the chat. Oh. Shubhananda was saying, Hari bol, mentioning of Yoga Vasishtha raises one question for me. Why in our Gaudiya literature it doesn't have any, there's no prominence given to Yoga Vasishtha? I don't really know so much about Yoga Vasishtha, so I can't say anything about that. But I think everything that we could ever possibly want is, like, that we need is in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, in Chaitanya, in the books of our Goswamis. And so maybe there just isn't need, because everything, all the teachings of Yoga Vasishtha are contained within Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Like, we don't give prominence to any other, like Padma Puran is full of so much about bhakti and so many wonderful things, but we don't give that much prominence to Padma Puran either. Although, like, we'll quote it, but we don't really, like, it's not like one of our prominent scriptures. So maybe it's the same thing with Yoga Vasishtha. That's just what comes to my mind right now. But as I said, I don't know anything about Yoga Vasishtha, so I can't speak on it. Yeah. Yes. I hope that answers the question. I mean, that wasn't a good answer, but that's all I can come up with. All right. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Hare Krishna. Yes. All right. Dandavat pranams. Hari bol.